Okay, first writing tutorial, let's get to it. Okay, the first part I want to talk about is about uncaging and boosting your creativity. We all know this cliche of a writer who is sitting in front of a typewriter or a screen and just waiting for something, some kind of inspiration to come, right? So what he does is basically staring at the screen, waiting for something to happen, and he is stuck. And since it's getting warmer outside, why not make outside your office? I mean, this is not a popular opinion eventually, but if you find a place, if you have a garden outside, for example, or if you live near to a big park where you can keep your distance from people and still be outside, just create some headspace for you and for your creativity to just expand and not be trapped within your four walls, then just try and find this spot for you and give yourself the space to be creative. And if you have to be inside, if you have an apartment, no garden, no possible way to go outside, and the first thing is to stay safe, make yourself as comfortable as possible within your four walls, within your apartment, your room, whatever. Create comfort for yourself, because you need to feel comfortable in order to feel free to feel creative. So take your notebook, your laptop, something you can write on, or something like a recording device. Mobile phone is fine for that purpose, and go outside and move. This is, I think, one of the first things that I do when I start writing or thinking about an idea. My body gets moving, and if I get my body moving, that kind of leads to the point where my brain and my mind starts moving too. So for me, like, this physical movement and this mind movement, so to say, is definitely intertwined and connected to each other. So just try to get yourself activated, and I think it's important to just allow it some time and eventually get rid of all the thoughts that you have about your regular life, about the problems that surround you as a person but not you as a creative, and try to just clear your headspace. There's a couple of breathing exercises that you can do. There's meditation exercise, like go for a run, go for a walk, and just clear your head and don't think about things that influence you in everyday life and in your situation that you are in. Because in everyday life we are used to sprinting from A to B and just getting there as fast as we can, but this is not a sprint. Writing is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And if you're inside and you want to move, there's like all these activities you can do, like cook something, do some cooking, do some cleaning. That's where I find where ideas come in, where I start talking to myself, and I think we all do that from time to time nowadays, like where you just keep like mumbling and just verbalize your thoughts. That helps me a lot, to just verbalize my thoughts and get them in order and kind of like build a construction of ideas and then write them down and see where it's leading you. Try to find a comfortable space where you can work, where you can be creative, which leads me to 3 like general rules that I try to give myself when I start writing. And the first one is a hard one right now, I understand, but maybe some of you feel the same as me and are already bored of it, is no TV and no streaming. Of course it's nice to get lost in a story that someone else has created, but this is a rather passive process. You passively eat the information that you are given. However, you want to be actively creating. So therefore you need to get rid of this disturbance, of this easy access of entertainment. The second one that goes hand to hand with that is to schedule your writing time. Just with any other hobby, you just need to make time for it. So there should be a clear time frame where you decide every day, I'm gonna spend 5 hours a day on writing. And this writing time is writing time. For me, it was an important discovery that my mind takes time to get rid of all the everyday thoughts. The third rule is a stereotype, I would say. It's stay away from booze. Drinking wine, it's almost like an aesthetic. You might find yourself writing excessively and having the greatest idea. However, when you wake up the next day, you might wake up to different things on the page than you imagined, and eventually you just have to start over with what you've written, and that's just a little bit of a waste of time. So just, try to stay away from the booze. Just, don't. Okay, let's say you have found your story, you have found the topic that you want to write about. Writing for a low-budget project, you should know that there is probably no money for specific professions. That doesn't mean that your film can't be about any certain type of topic. It can be about anything you can never imagine. That's one of the biggest rules. Your own imagination is the limit. And beyond that, there are more possibilities. This is just the beginning of getting into the topic of screenwriting, of writing your own story. And I hope that you as well might use this time to just get started, get creative, find yourself some calm environment where you can explore all these wonderful fictional possibilities that the world has to offer, and get writing. This is it for today. Next Tuesday we're gonna talk more about the details of the story and the creation of the main character. We're gonna talk about his objectives, what drives him to do what he does, about obstacles that he has to overcome on his journey, about his inner motivation, and give it the first twist. If you want to follow this process, hit subscribe, like us, share us with friends who are interested in filmmaking. Click subscribe, like it, leave comments please if you want to have a discussion. Stay safe, stay tuned, signing out.